Good morning and welcome to Elisa Maria Designs. I am Elisa Maria. Welcome back if you are back, and welcome if you are new. We're happy to have you here. I am hoping that you all had a wonderful holiday weekend, a nice long restful holiday weekend. I am sitting at my desk and saying, well, I said I'd be here on Tuesday. What am I doing? What am I doing? I am still on, oh, let me tell you. I watched The Lawyer Whom got the portrait of the lady in gold back to Ferdinand's niece, Maria. So as he was speaking, he said, Adela. And I thought, what? I've been pronouncing her name wrong this whole time. Her name was Adela. I thought, how beautiful, how beautiful. So I have Portrait of Adela here, and we're getting pretty far. I have this little section here to do, but the whole top part will then be done. And then I just have this block here to do. And you know that's going to be done because I want to get on with, I want to get this done, and not only to get it done, I'm, not a rush thing. I'm not trying to rush it done, but I want to get it done because it's so beautiful and I'm so anxious to see it complete. Are you looking at anything other than, I'm so anxious to see it complete. And I just so want to get it done. I'm so eager to see this beautiful canvas. I actually had so much fun doing this canvas, and I don't even think it's been 2 weeks that I've been working on this canvas. I looked up when I did the first video, and it was like 9 days ago. I'm like, what? I don't think I've ever worked on a canvas that fast before, but it was so much fun to do. Now, yesterday I did this entire, well, actually this entire section. There were 3 blocks. I did this entire section. I did a lot in the morning. I took a break. I was just so happy to be in my zone because, well, I'll tell you about it when we go further into, when I get into what I'm doing today. So I was so happy just to be in my zone, but it was getting a little intense in this area here. And again, last night when I went to bed, I'm looking at this area here, and I'm like, these are her jewels, and I just don't think that there's enough bling there. So I'm thinking about switching them out too. I don't like the bling on her choker. I think that there could be a little bit more bling there. I don't know. Let me turn it this way because I'm trying to look at it. Of course, I lost my new setup system that I had because we had a big party here and things had to go upstairs, and now they're not coming back down. Okay, so if you look at the if you look at the choker, like, I think that should just have like a little bit more bling in it, and the bracelet, because I did a whole video just on Adela's jewels, and oh gosh, I have to link this video that I was watching the other night. It was actually after the party. So I married a music man. And all his friends love music too. And we had a big party here. And everyone, when you were at one of our house parties, everyone is either in the audience or they're performing. And if I have a clip, because and the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because one of John's friends wrote a song. Now he's a singer-songwriter, and he wrote a song, and I was just blown away by it. I usually am. I like all of Dante's songs. And I said, Dante, I have been talking about doing a video on the creative process and where people create and how they create and what is the inspiration, where does it come from, what do you do? Like, you hear people that say, oh, I wrote this down on a napkin, and the next thing you know, I got a symphony, and he was kind of telling me a little bit, but we had company, and like people were playing the piano and who was playing the guitar and who was singing, and I was like, I'm going to get in touch with you because he just started his YouTube channel, and I'm going to link him also, and you can hear this fabulous song. He's got great songs. So, and then I'm going to hook up with him and we're going to do an interview. He's going to be my first I was going to do Where Women Create, but now it's just expanding further. And yeah, he's going to be my first interview. So we're looking forward to that. So where am I today? Okay, so now we have Adela on the side underneath. And I got another delivery because I ordered, here's my notes. These are my notes. I actually do. I just got done creating my day. So if you did my self-care Sunday, I'm not, you know, I create my day. That's my writing. And I'll tell you a little bit of what I wrote here. So we opened this one that I got for 20 bucks. It was a dupe. Not bad. You know, there's, you know, differences. You know, I kind of, you know, this is okay, but I don't feel like, okay, it locked in pretty well. But, you know, just to, for 20 bucks and just to like, I think there's like 78 containers in here. Fine. Great. Now I bought a second one from a different company, but still on Amazon, and I'll link them too. And we're going to open that one up. It's been sitting here for like a week. So where did I move my scissor to? I saw myself move it. Okay. Here we go. My desk is not the way I like it, because I will tell you, after the fabulous party that we had, it took me, I was just looking to hang back yesterday and relax, and John is like a go, go, go person, and he was like, I want to go out. I know this place, and, you know, I've been dying to check it out. They're known for their chicken wings. Let's go. And I just couldn't even eat another thing, but he's Mr. Go, 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 and he took me out, and I just was like, after that, the day was a blur. I came home and went right to bed. Oh, it pretty much looks the same way, even though I got it from a different company, and I think I paid a little bit more for this one, but it might have different size containers in it. Same latching system. Yeah, I think this has bigger containers in it. I think I paid a little bit more, maybe like 22 bucks. I can't remember, but I will link them both for you. And so here we are with this one. So you have 3 of the larger containers, which I really appreciate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the medium. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 of the, I guess they would be small, and then I guess these would be tiny. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26 of the tiny ones. So I really appreciate that. So, so if there's 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 43, 44, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. 50. I'm worried about the commercial in the background. 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. So 50 in this one. And I think I paid a little bit more, but there are different sized containers in this one. Pretty cool. I mean, they shipped to China, but then, you know, they're shipping out of California. This one came from California. I can't remember where the other one came from. So I am so eager to, I did the kit, I opened up the kit of Night's Rest, and then I did go through, or with a second video, I did go through the colors. And then, sorry about that. This is what happens when you want to have music in the background and, you know, they just have commercials on. It drives me nuts. Music ain't that great anyway. What was I saying? Oh, so I opened up Night's Rest. That was the unboxing. And then I went through all the colors with you in another video. But I want to get a kit up. So that's why these are going to be out. And I'm going to be getting that ready for June the 1st for Summer with the Masters. And if you don't know what that is, please go over to Anthony at Single and Placing or Katie at Diamonds and Washi, and you will get all the information. It doesn't have to be a new start. I'll tell you what I know for sure. It doesn't have to be a new start. It doesn't have to be finished. It does have to be copyright-free, a piece of artwork from the Masters, like Klimt, like Van Gogh, like Monet. And it has to, the trademark date has to predate 1929. There's a bunch of artwork that you can look at. I think I have the National Gallery link, and I will put that on there if I can find it. And what else? They're not going to be shipping out any of the gifts. You know, there's going to be a lot of distributors that jump on board for this event because, let's face it, you know, we're buying from them. Okay, so I made a hand movement and it started to, let me just try that again. See what I mean? I don't know. The phone decided to take a picture. Anyway, yes, I owe Katie a visit. And who else did I just visit recently that I was looking at their artwork? Because I love finding new diamond painters and introducing them. Oh, I will let you know that Color and Chat with Joanna, and I didn't actually see the message. I'm so bad with messages. I didn't actually see the message comment that she made, but she does a live at 5 and she is a scream. She is so funny. And I knew, the first time I saw her channel, I was like, this girl and I are going to hook up. And of course, you know, you throw it out there. And she left a comment and she said, Elisa, you know, I would like to interview you. Thursday I do a live at 5. We'll keep it nice and light. Why don't you stop over? So that's where I'll be on Thursday. And I'm paying it forward. And I'm like, well, you know what? Why am I not interviewing people? So I'm going to interview Dante. And he's very excited about that. And what else is going on in this world of mine, crazy world of mine? Oh, Dreamer Designs has gotten my full payment because they made adjustments to the artwork that I wanted. And they were like, this is great, but we can make it look better. And I really appreciate that also. And it was like going to cost me like $8.50 more. And I was like, yeah, do it. Just do it. It's a beautiful Klimt. And I have been on the internet and I've been looking at more of Klimt's works and I'm like, oh, I want to do that one. I want that one made. I want that one made. I want that one made. And we'll see how this turns out with Dreamer Designs. I have a lot of faith in them. I really like the company. I like their artwork. I think that they have a nice array for you to choose, pick and choose, you know, where, you know, for different people, you know, like different tastes is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so I'm telling you, if this comes back as gorgeous as the painting, I'm going to be like, I can't wait to get it. I don't know how long it's going to take them to do it, but it's just something that I've been wanting to do, and I'm going for it. I'm going for it. And I think you can tell them, yes, include ABs, I think, because I looked at a lot of different, but yeah, I did say, yes, I want ABs. Now, once I get this, now I'm going to be doing Summer with the Masters, so that's going to keep me busy, but I have until, I think it's June 1st to July 31st, so that's a nice chunk of time, and that's the Muka, and it's more like a long panel, and I got the moon done fairly quickly because there is a lot of color blocking in that portrait, and it allows for the painting to move very quickly, even though it doesn't look like a lot of color blocking, and I'll tell you why. It doesn't look like a lot of color blocking because they might do a block of color, like let's just say her gown, but the next color is complementary to it, very subtle, and then the next block of color, and so it's giving this shading and definition throughout it without looking like just big, like, oh, there's a blue and then there's a green. So I know in this one there's a lot of green in this portrait, and I love green, of course. So, you know, we're getting things done in here. I actually have a contractor coming over later that's coming into my downstairs bathroom. And we're going to switch things out in there. And then, you know, when John retires, which is going to be a bigger job, we're going to get the upstairs. We're going to work from our way down. You know, he wants to start knocking down walls. I'm like, you better fix what needs to be fixed in here first before you start knocking down walls. I'm not in the mood. I mean, I think that our bathroom needs to be redone, absolutely. And I want to get him on that. Now, I found, like, he had my husband basically bought this house, and because he was working so much, you know, 6 days a week, and he was doing a lot of overtime, and then, you know, he was a bachelor, and so when he had his time to himself, he wanted to go out, he wanted to do things. He didn't want to be in here with a contractor doing stuff. So when I moved in, I went into the bathroom and I was like, what is with this ancient wallpaper? Because the guy who lived here before him, he was a contractor. I think he was a tile setter. And every time he did a job and there was extra tile, he came home, and where did he put it? In this house. There's tile everywhere, which I appreciate. The downstairs, the basement is all tiled. It's so easy to keep clean. I love it. The kitchen's all tiled. Our, you know, our living room, our dining room is all, it's all tile. So, but he had wallpaper. He tiled the bathroom in the tub, around the tub and the shower. And then he tiled the ceiling. And I was like, you don't know what this does to me when I go in there and I got to scrub the ceiling. I was like, what the hell was he, well, he was a man. What the hell was he thinking? Tile the ceiling. You know, I mean, because like when I'm done taking a shower, I get my little squeegee and I squeegee everything down so that it dries quickly and doesn't, you know, prevents any kind of mold. My husband doesn't do that. I go in after him. I follow him in. But the ceiling drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. I'm like, what the hell was he thinking putting tile up here? But then I got rid of the old wallpaper. Now, I was at my house yesterday. Now, I got rid of the old wallpaper and I just kind of tore it down. And when I tore it down, the natural wall was there. And, you know, not all of the wallpaper came off. And so my friend has a very famous restaurant in New York City called Bellato's. And he did the same thing to his walls. He took down all the old wallpaper. And he's like, guess what? I'm leaving it like this. It reminds me of Italy. You know, and, you know, it fits. And for me, I was just, I fell in love with it. I love anything that's like distressed. And when I took down John's wallpaper and there was some of that, what do they call it? Stucco like underneath, and then there were pieces of wallpaper, and it's very blue and brown in there. The wallpaper was blue and brown. Some of the detail of the old paper, which was kind of like, you know, like fleur-de-lis, like flourishes and stuff. So to me, I love it. And I was at my house yesterday and I found a painting, not a painting, what am I saying? I found a piece of artwork that I did. I'll show you guys. I actually have it right here. Did this by taking the photo, which is a copyright-free image, and I Xeroxed it a few times. And so I put the original photo down, but then I don't know if you could see, I layered different parts of her dress like this, and her arm. You could actually see some of the, can you see that? Maybe not. You can see where I layered up over there. And I layered her sleeve and her bow and the shawl that's over. So I layered elements on here. And I was like, this is so pretty. I'm gonna put this in my upstairs bathroom. So I go to my old house to rummage through stuff. When I get the urge to shop, I'm like, let me just go to my old house and see what I can pull out of there. I got enough things in that house, enough antiques and stuff that I shouldn't be looking at anything. So, and then I got in the mood to create one of those, that portrait, because I have so many copyright-free images. I used to do so much work, me and my girlfriend, Diane, when I worked at the ink pad in New York, and we would teach classes. She was my distress buddy. She loved anything distressed also. I was on Amazon yesterday and last night before bed, and I was looking at all things Klimt that are available on Amazon. And they had this portrait. It was called, I think it was a museum piece, and it was a coffee mug, I believe with a lid, maybe not, because I looked at a lot of them, and it was $49. I was like, I can't even have it. If I lived alone, I could have it. But my husband is too clumsy. Too clumsy. I would be following him around everywhere. If he even went near, like, the cupboard where we keep our coffee mugs. To hide things. I don't know what he broke the other day, but it was something of his. And he's like, Elisa, he's like, I do it with my stuff too. I'm just clumsy. Oh my God. I forget what he broke, and I was standing right next to him. I don't even react anymore. I'm just like, what are you doing? Oh, I really like this color up against the gold ones that are already in here. What are we doing here? Where did you come from? All of a sudden, I got this one in my hand. No, I want my other one. I like this guy. I love the weight of this guy. See, when there's a nice song on, I get quiet. It's like my brain settles down. So I was telling you guys that I did my Create Your Day today. And I was having a little, you know, difficult time yesterday. We had all this leftover food and stuff. And food is not what gets me. You know, it's the sweets. So bad with the sweets. And I gotta watch. My whole family is like riddled with diabetes. And it's the sweets. I don't even want it, but it's there. It's like, ooh, don't you want a piece of carrot cake? Ooh. Remember, you have those cannolis that your friend brought over? I'm like, leave me alone. My brain. I'm like, leave me alone. Stop talking to me about cake. So I went and got my journal, and I went upstairs, and I created a visualization for myself, creating how I was going to respond to this talk that was going on in my brain. Like, no, I am not going to have a piece of cake. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea. And no, I really don't want the cake. And like, you visualize yourself going through it and just ignoring it. You know, just being like, no, thank you. I don't want it. And then I put on, you know, I always have YouTube on, so I wanted to hear something uplifting. And Dr. Joe was with one of my other favorite people that I listen to, which is Diary of a CEO. And they were talking. And so I had that on in the background. I wasn't really paying attention, but I will tell you one thing that Dr. Joe said, and I actually wrote it down. When he said, you are going to feel uncomfortable with change because you are entering into the unknown, the unfamiliar, uncertainty. You're leaving what you know for what you do not know. There you go. And, you know, I have always had a problem with change. I remember when, you know, we closed our restaurant. This is something that I was doing consistently for 8 years in the heart of Philadelphia. And we were moving to New York. And I was also teaching art at the time. And so my art journal was very bright and very colorful. And as the date to move to New York was getting closer, my artwork was just turning dark. It was just... It got to the point that it was like just down to black and white and maybe even gray. And it was because I had such anxiety moving to New York. This wasn't visiting to New York. This was moving to New York. And I just felt like I was going to get swallowed up in New York City. And it was post 9/11. And the apartment that we were in was in Battery Park City. And it was right outside of what was the World Trade Center. So there was all that activity and energy constantly going on. And like, I just was having a hard time adjusting to it all. But, you know, the unknown is where you learn new things and, you know, you learn to grow and adapt. So I learned to embrace the unknown. I learned to turn my language around and be like, instead of being afraid of what you don't know, find it exciting. Think of all the things that you are going to learn, and you get to start here. This is your new beginning, and you know you're projecting what you think is going to happen, and you don't know. So be comfortable with not knowing, and let yourself get excited about what is going to happen, what's going to come. And you know what? You still own your house. You can still go home. You don't have to stay here. And you could be anything. And so I opted to not go back into the restaurant business. I did it for like 2 weeks. It was such stress and anxiety because the flagship store was 5 times bigger than what I was running in Philadelphia. And I just, you know, there was a lot of family. And I don't think it's ever a good idea to work with your partner or with family. I got this advice a long time ago and I didn't heed it, and I should have. It's very difficult. You know, you don't want to bring your work environment into your marriage, and then you have family on top of it. I was like, I'm living in the city of opportunity. I could be whatever I want to be. What the hell am I doing? And so I, you know, gave my notice. I was like, listen, I'm going to be here for a couple of weeks. It's either we're going to get divorced, which we eventually did anyway, or I'm not going to be talking to your family because, you know, I'm a grown woman and I've run more businesses and I've been headhunted by more people to run their businesses than I can count. And I'm not, you know, going to have this argument about what I'm doing when I'm here. You know, I'll fill you in. Absolutely. You know, we're a team, but not when you're going to push back at everything that I'm saying. So forget it. Go find somebody that doesn't know you, and you could, you know, find an employee. You know, I don't need to be that person that comes in and gives her heart and soul and then has to put up with a lot of crap in the meantime. So I'd rather go work for somebody else. And that's what I did. I was doing all this artwork. I was actually ordering from this store when I lived in Philadelphia, and I said, you know, I want to go check this store out that I'm always ordering from. And I walked in, and I just continued. I was just buying supplies, buying. And then I went back the next day, and I was buying more supplies. And she was like, the owner said, actually, there was this horrible smell that was going through New York City. Not horrible, I'm sorry. I was actually in Battery Park City, and I was living on the 16th floor, and all I could smell was maple syrup. Now, I lived along the water, and I thought maybe there was a new place opening up, and they were serving breakfast. And I opened the door, and everybody was like in the hallway. People were outside on the promenade. There was this heavy, heavy smell of maple syrup. And all the boroughs were getting phone calls from New Yorkers saying, what is that smell? And they had been in police department, the firemen had been in every borough. My cousin was a fireman. He's like, Elisa, I've been in every borough tonight. We cannot decipher where this smell is coming from. Scary, because now it's post 9/11, and you know, if there's something toxic coming through the air, it could be camouflage so that you don't know. So it's camouflaged either with an almond scent or a maple syrup scent. And I don't know. We never heard any more about it. And it could have been just a way to terrorize people, you know, let them all go crazy trying to figure out where this maple syrup smell is coming from. And I was back in this store, and I was talking on the phone, and, you know, everybody was very, you know, anxious about what is this smell? Where is it coming from? And I was talking on the phone, and the owner came up to me. She's like, I don't mean to eavesdrop. I said, I'm so sorry. I really should be outside. I should not be on my phone in the middle of your store. She goes, no. I live, where was she, in Elizabeth? And she said, I had this same thing going on. do you know anything? Do you know what this smell is? I'm like, I'm sorry to tell you, I don't. My cousin's a firefighter, and he doesn't know either. And she's like, I see you in here all the time. And I was buying stuff like crazy. Everything that was new in her store, every rubber stamp, every piece of paper, every enhancement, every ink pad. I mean, I had so many things going at the time that I was doing this type of artwork. I was just buying everything. And she's like, do you have a store? Are you a teacher? I was like, no, just a student. I really taught myself a lot of the, techniques of rubber stamp art. And she's like, do you have any of your artwork on you? I would see you walking around. I had this little, like I was a kid, I had this little cigar box full of artwork that I had started. And she was like, oh, you have to come and teach for me. I was like, no, I'm not a teacher. I'm a student. You didn't hear me. She goes, no, you're a teacher. And she gave me a pass to go and look at the class that was actually happening the next day. And I thought, I could do this. I think I could do this. And I began working at, New York City's only rubber stamp store. And I had a blast. And like I said, I changed my life. I was afraid to change, but I got out of the restaurant business temporarily. And I changed my life. And I had a blast. And I had a really good time working for Anna. And we're still friends. And I miss her. And love her dearly. And most of the people that came across my path in New York City, I'm still friends with. So, let's get a look at Adele. There was one other thing, though, before we get into Adele. Let's get my remote out of the way. That I wanted to tell you that I wrote down from Dr. Joe. Every thought that you have is a chemical. You choose thoughts that make you feel good or thoughts that make you feel bad. How about that? And that's something that I live with every day. When I am having like, oh, my button's pushed, or feeling down or sluggish or something, I try and do something that is going to make me feel good so I can get some good chemicals through my brain. There we are. What we got? Oh, I can't wait to get, I'm seeing on camera what I don't see in front of me. And I think I told you guys this. The camera picks up a better, it's a better lens in your own eye of what the shapes are. And I'm looking at these eyes. That's an eye. Oh, and that's an eye. And that's what I mean. Like when I get to this section, I'm going to do this little pattern first. I'm going to do this little pattern. I could see where there's like bars here. I'm going to do those. And so it makes it easier to get through the block. But I'm telling you, I was counting yesterday. I'm like, okay, this is May 27th. This will be May 28th, May 29th, May 30th, May 31st. But I'm going to be blowing through this. I'm going to actually cut another piece off and start before my husband and the contractor get here. Because then my piece is over. Piece is done. And I'm going to call all the people back that have been calling me while I've been trying to videotape. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're doing something that you love. Hope that you were working on your work in progress. And I know I say this in my comments to a few people that take the time to comment. I have Elisa Maria Designs, a Facebook page that I would love if you would show me your whip. What are you working on? And I'll be more conscious to go there. I'll be like, oh, I have to go see, did any of my subscribers, I wanted to say students, did any of my subscribers leave a whip on my page that I can look at? And then today's Tuesday. I think I'll be here tomorrow because I think I want to kit up for the night's rest. And what else did I want to tell you? Oh, but if I'm not, Thursday, I hope I'm still going to be with Joanna at Color and Chat with Joanna, live at 5. And then I have to take my book and pen while I edit this video. And I know I gave a lot of information and a lot of links. And so I got to make sure I cover them all. Alrighty, my loves, enjoy your day and create something wonderful, even if it's just your day. Hey, maybe you can't get to your diamond painting, but you can create your day when you're at lunch. And you know, I still love to go to lunch. I'll give you a secret. I'll give you another tip. When I lived in New York, and my cafe was directly across from St. Anthony's Church. And my husband, he's like, I've known you your whole life. I've known you from when you were a little girl. How did you never see these movies? I have never seen The Pope of Greenwich Village. My husband's face just drains of color. And he put it on yesterday. And I'm looking and I'm like, that looks like I can really pinpoint places in New York. I'm like, that looks like the rectory of St. Anthony. I'm like, that is the rectory of St. Anthony, and that's Joe's Cheese Shop, and that's where my cafe was. And he's like, what? I'm like, how do you know it's the rectory? I'm like, just keep and as the camera was pulling back, I'm like, that's St. Anthony's Church. And then at one point the camera pulled back and right above the wall it said rectory of St. Anthony. So, that was my tip. Well, when the cafe life would get too crazy and the noise in New York would get to be too nuts and the people were like, woohoo, sometimes, I would be like, I'm going to go right back. I would tell them I was going somewhere, to go check something out. But I would only sneak across the street to the church. And it'd be like, oh, it's so nice and quiet in here. And it smells good. And I would bring my journal and I would write in the church. So if you ever need anywhere to escape, a church, a temple, they're very welcoming. and it actually put me on a project where I went all around New York, and every time I saw a church, it was my cue to go in and recharge myself and say a prayer and light some candles, but also to photograph. And I photographed a lot of churches in New York. And one of these days, I have now 40,000 pictures in my gallery. I don't know. I don't know if there's an AI that can say, hey, take all the pictures of the churches, but they never get them all. So I will. I mean, beautiful churches in New York City that I photographed, and I would love to share them. Anyway, all right. I never could say goodbye. Ciao. Create the world you want to live in. Bye.